a few IBCs on campus as well, so I'm not going to be speaking to those quite as much because in distance here we're responsible for the ones off campus, and James, he may pop in. He's responsible for all the classrooms we have here on campus. But,
and IBC stands for?
Interactive Video Classrooms. Okay. Interactive Video Classrooms. I apologize for that. Interactive Video Classrooms. My name is Terry Locklear. I'm an instructional designer over in Distance Ed. So, our DE, Distance Education, we have DE sites at Sand Hills, Richmond, Cape Fear, and Fort Bragg. We do classes at other locations, but at these 4 sites, this is where we have actual UNCP and full-time employees. So at all of these locations, there's off-campus coordinators at those sites. So they're UNCP employees. The students have a contact, a full-time person, and the faculty and staff have a full-time person located there as well to serve as a contact. Our partnerships are real important to us. This was this picture of Dr. Cummins was just a couple of months ago. There was a meeting over at Sand Hills Community College where UNCP personnel went there and met with quite a few individuals there. And these other pictures are from Sand Hills as well, and that's Sand Hills President Dr. Dempsey. At Sand Hills, we actually have 4 different rooms. So we've got 4 interactive classrooms at the community college site. Van Dusen, Little Hall, and Logan Hall, UNCP actually owns all of that equipment, but Willard Hall is Sand Hills equipment. They let us use it on occasion if we kind of overbook. But some nights we'll have 4. It's not unusual to have 4 classrooms being sent from campus to those rooms. So that's not an unusual occurrence at all. Have y'all taught through the IBCs before? Okay, yeah, Nick has. Okay. Well, it was at Sand Hills?
I did Sand Hills, I did Richmond.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I never did here.
You never did here.
And are these classrooms that are set up just like this one or similar?
The setup is similar to this one. Because of our relationship with those community colleges, they want us to maintain whatever was in those rooms before. We try to not change much of it. Okay. Because it's a partnership between us and them. So we don't want to do anything to ruffle those feathers or anything. So the rooms that we have there, our classes are pretty much 6 to 9 in the evenings, and you can imagine these rooms are being utilized all day for traditional teaching. So we don't want to go in and create any kind of hindrance to what was already taking place. So we just go in and add to a little bit. So for most of a typical setup for an off-campus location is a projector at the front, a flat screen at the front as well, and a flat screen at the back, and 2 cameras. Okay. So that's a typical setup, similar to what we have here, but you're probably not going to have the acoustical treatment and those kind of things. So it's a kind of similar, but not as nice as this one. Mm-hmm. And this is Richmond Community College, and at that location we have equipment in Condor 122. It's supposed to be Condor 127, Grimsley, and Honeycutt, which is actually RCC's site in the Laurinburg location. So we've got some equipment over there in Laurinburg as well, and that's normally used for nursing classes. So our nursing instructors may want to teach from here to some nursing students that work at the hospital, maybe in Scotland. So they can maybe leave work and it's just right down the street from the hospital. Yeah, we tried to work with the hospital before and put some equipment there, but their networks, because of security, you can imagine at the hospital it's quite different. So it worked out good that they have this location over in Honeycutt. Excuse me, and this is Cape Fear Community College and Fort Bragg military installation. It's Cape Fear Community College over in Wilmington, We just have one room over there right now. It's in the Applied Technologies building, which is this one right here. It's the North Campus. If you're familiar with Cape Fear, there's a downtown campus, and they got kind of landlocked, and they went out toward Burgall and then built this North Campus location, which is kind of sprawling. It's huge, real nice. Anybody ever?
I've been there. I thought that was the main campus, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
Is it? I don't know. I mean, is that now the main campus, or?
As far as I know, the administration is still in the,
Is that right?
the downtown regional
I
location.
mean, the other campus is very nice.
Oh, yes, huge. Yeah, we just have one room there right now, and at Fort Bragg we just have one room as well over at the Soldier Development Center. We've got some. It's important to understand the limitations of our off-campus sites. You know, we're not going to be able to go in and do anything like this, and Fort Bragg, it's especially interesting with that one because the military has all kind of stipulations, so we have to work around those. But here's just a slide about a typical off-campus setup. 2 Polycom cameras, similar to what we have here with those front-facing, rear-facing projector, 2 flat panels, a shareable PC, kind of like what we're doing here as well.
Question about the shareable PC. I assume it's set up so that we can log in with our UNCP username and password and it's seamless, or?
The community college is going to own whatever location they're going to have. That's going to be their computer. They'll always provide credentials for us, so there's no problems logging in. But you're not going to be able to log in and see like your UNCP drives and that kind of thing. Yeah, so
we don't use any kind of VNC setup or?
No, sir.
Okay.
That's kind of a good segue in where next section is there are technicians in all room locations. So James has technicians here, and we have technicians off campus as well. And typically the technicians for the off campus locations are community college employees that are kind of doing this on the side for UNCP. And in a lot of cases they're working in IT, so they're able to provide some good assistance to instructors. This is just a little quote from Dr. Tita, who is our director of Distance Ed. Teaching in an IVC should not equate to any modification to the content or the class delivery, so we strive to make the technology invisible. Since Mr. Arena has taught in one of these IVCs before, did you run into any kind of challenges or anything? Or
You know, I thought Sandhills was pretty good. The room I used at Richmond, and I don't know which of those 4 it was not as good. Okay, but we're kind of spoiled here, so I know that a lot of our faculty really are not excited about the DE setups. Now, I mean, we on our MBA program, we went to having our faculty in the classroom at Sandhills for that reason.
Yeah,
I don't know. We've had a little bit of a pickup in our student enrollments, but I don't know if it's a lot. We had one class up there where all the students opted out of the class and came down here. So there may be some issues.
yeah, they're
I mean, when I used it, I guess I'm more of a, you know, I was a Boy Scout that didn't even use the tent, so I made it work.
made it work. Yeah,
And it was fine as far as I was concerned.
That's something that we always ask faculty members to be cognizant of is UNCP doesn't have control of their networks or any kind of thing on that side, so we want to always have a
I think it was the audio more than anything else that people struggled with.
At the Richmond site?
Really at Sandhills too.
Okay.
Because I don't think it had as good of acoustics and the microphones like you have here, and you know, it just.
Yeah.
So I think the audio wasn't as good.
And James is always real good about recording those for us if we have any kind of issues as well, which is a good segue into this discussion. Where does WebEx fit in, and where are we going? So I'm glad James is in the room. He may be able to speak to this portion of it. So right now we've been using this Polycom stuff for quite a while, and so where does this fit into WebEx? And James, do you want to say anything about that?
Well, when we talk about Polycom, we're mainly talking about hardware, a piece of hardware that's physically housed in the room, and each one of the components that we have are about $20,000 a piece. And how the technology is happening now, everybody's moving away from hardware, of course, going to the cloud and software based, which is what WebEx is software based. So we're in the process now of researching and determining what's the next direction for campus. We're putting out about 500 to 600 hours of DE evening classes for video conferencing. That's just video conferencing. That's not the ones like who just go to Sand Hills to teach and don't send anywhere else. That's just video hours, 500 to 600 hours a semester. So we got a lot going on every night out here except for Fridays. So we're trying to figure out where to go and how to integrate our rooms on campus. Of course, it has to be done progressively. I mean, we probably would never get the funding to do all the rooms at one time. So that's where we're headed here now, is just that transition from going from hardware to software. Because it's amazing, the quality doesn't change much as it used to.
Really?
You know. And
So how many rooms do you have on campus?
we have about classrooms. It keeps changing. We had about 8 on campus.
That are like this classroom.
Well, this classroom is a little special
Okay.
because I flipped this one around just a little bit so we can do some lecture capture stuff in it. But the other ones are similar, very similar in design. They are acoustic treated and have the same type of mics and everything like that. Except what makes this room is a little different is you have a control room where there's operators in the back. In those other rooms, the technician is actually in the room with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the technician is controlling, for instance, camera
Yes.
angles.
The camera angles in 2 of the rooms, in Sampson and in Oxendine and in Dial. The new rooms that's in health science, it has a touch panel. So the instructor controls the touch panel from up front.
Nice. Do we also have the capability of recording video in these other classrooms?
And the other classrooms, no.
Okay, so we can't record that at all.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And so that's where one thing like WebEx would work, because we always have that.
Right, because we can record via WebEx. Is that
Exactly.
correct?
Exactly. So we're trying to decide now, okay, if we go to WebEx, how long before we go? And should we put in an interim piece to record, where we can record? I got, as I mentioned before this session started, during a spring break, we did some tests on integrating the hardware with the software with WebEx, and it's working. So
Meaning that you can stream the video directly to our servers to store the video locally?
yeah, well, I should be able to connect with the hardware in the room to
Right.
WebEx
Right.
and record it via WebEx.
Okay, so WebEx can dump directly to our server.
Well, once you record it in WebEx, you'll go in and it'll be on the WebEx server, and we can download it to our desktop
Okay.
and put it on our iDrive or put it in Blackboard or wherever we want it at. So there's a couple steps in there. It's not seamless.
Got it.
But we can record without having a great expense
Good.
to do it. To do it the other way, we would have to have like some sort of campus-wide video management system that you will be in the room, click a couple buttons, it runs, it records, then uploads it to a server that may put it in Blackboard for you.
Right.
So this way that I'm looking at is a quick and easy way
Right.
to decide until we make the decisions where we're going to go with WebEx and then a video management solution all in one.
Got it. Good. So this is kind of an intermediate step
Yes.
right now.
Yes,
Okay.
it's an intermediate piece that should have minimum cost.
Good. Like it.
But I think it's important too to let's keep our off-campus locations in mind. I think those relationships that we have with the community colleges is paramount to our enrollment here. And those the students on those campuses love having that face-to-face contact with instructors. So typically, instructors will rotate between sites. So they may teach from Pembroke one night and then go over to wherever it's being sent. And it can be sent to up to 3-4 locations.
Yeah, some nights we're doing 4 locations at one time.
Right. So it's important to those students that we try to maintain the face-to-face contact with the instructor, because in most cases they're going to be adult learners, and they appreciate having that face-to-face interaction. At this time, we have any questions about about our off-campus locations or anything so far?
I guess the question I have for you, Terry, is, you know, like I mentioned, the issue with audio, and I was wondering if there's anything that could be done. I realize we have certain constraints there, but is there anything that could be done to improve the audio in those locations?
Absolutely. Something that James and I were just talking about a few minutes ago is that, you know, in making this transition, some of our Polycom stuff, after 4 or 5 years, is getting a little age on it. So we're in the process now of deciding what are we going to do. So we went up to Cisco's location a few weeks ago, and they were showing us their hardware version of what we use now, and it's nice, bells and whistles and automatic camera. Based on audio, the camera will just move around the room and find the person that's speaking and all kind of stuff. But you're thinking about some hefty expenditures, so we've got to really consider what we want to do with those locations and get together a plan for, I guess, justifying that cost.
Well, I think for us, I mean, broadcasting, particularly to Sandhills for the School of Business, is really important. I think we have quite a few classes that go that way,
Yeah.
from what I understand. I mean, we don't have them, we still do one class a semester at the graduate level that way. But
I think
I have a feeling we'd go back to it if we felt more comfortable with it.
yeah, the number of classes that we do, or the number of individual sections that we have through this means is probably plateaued over the last couple of years, but around 30, 32 a semester is not unheard of. So that's a lot of sections, and this technology is definitely important to us.
You don't remember which room you was in where
At Sandhills?
Because that's like what?
I
three
can
over
find
there?
out which ones.
Four, okay.
Probably Logan.
That's what I'm thinking.
Probably Logan 206.
Because that's not ours, right?
Second floor.
That's like the newest one, though, right?
Was that where it was?
That's their newest building, is Logan. I'm not sure what
Maybe.
classrooms the faculty were teaching in where they had problems. What was the one that we did back around, I mean, it had to be in 2009 when I was working up there.
Was it Willard?
Yeah, I think it's Wellard. And that one I was in recently, and just to meet with students, and we were broadcasting back to the Pembroke location, and I had some difficulty with the audio in that one. But I know that one's like 6 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
6 or 7.
So I guess we're kind of at a fork in the road where we've really got to decide.
I didn't think the video was the problem as much as the audio.
Is there a way, Terry, that like when we renew, that we could have, that they would give us, you think they'll give us a little bit more leniency on, say, so far as, I guess, like tuning the room a little bit? Is there a possibility?
Oh, yeah.
Because what I was thinking is, as we make it better for us, it's also making it better for them as well. You know, you think
They
it's,
use those rooms in the daytime, right? I don't know if they use the broadcast capability.
They in some cases they use them for broadcasting, but if they use them for broadcasting, it's maybe 25% of
what they're doing?
what
Yeah,
they-
right.
Yeah. So we always got to keep that in the back of our minds when we're going to make any kind of structural change at those locations, and Sandhills especially.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, at Richmond, we've got a lot more flexibility. Cape Fear, a little bit more, but Sandhills is probably the one with the most
Gotcha.
limitations. Yeah.
That surprises me. I mean, it's a really strong relationship.
Oh
between
yeah,
the
but
two
I mean, as
schools.
far as like as far as what we go in and change the look of the room.
I can understand the
Yeah,
look of the
that's,
room.
That's
But when you're
that's
talking about maybe if there's insulation or something like that that's needed, or to me, I was guessing that it was probably just whether it's the location of the microphones. They're in the ceiling there in that room. They don't hang down like the microphones you have here.
okay.
I don't know if that technology makes a difference or not, but
We'll definitely look at that for sure. Yeah. Are you interested in transitioning over to some interactive courses? Well, what are you envisioning for your area?
Well, I teach hard science, so what I wanted to do is make a plan to have my face-to-face class completely videotaped and then put it online and make it kind of a hybrid course where they would only have to come to campus for lab and they will get all the theory online.
But yeah, you can start doing that now.
Right.
Just let me know what days and times.
Well, see,
As soon as possible.
I wanted to have maybe the class start the semester from day one, and I don't know if we need to do that in a particular room, like bring the class here. And,
Yeah,
you know.
if we can get it scheduled in here, every time you come, we'll capture it and we'll load it up for you online as soon as the class is over.
Right.
And your students will have access to it. And then that's something that we can help you out fairly easy.
I'm not sure if it should be. One idea would be to record completely and then just have it online in future semesters or in the summer without me being actually teaching. Another idea would be at the same time I'm teaching and somewhere else is getting it online. You see what I'm saying? But I have to structure it in my mind because by the time we need to send the schedules in, you know, I have to make a request to have it in this room versus in Oxendine. So I'm just trying to get my feet in the water first.
And
We're doing
appreciate
about, Michael, what would you think, about 10 or 12 classes like that now?
Wow.
That's recording in here for online use?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Probably, yeah.
close
What's
to
the
that.
capacity of this room?
32.
Okay.
Mhm.
So usually I teach sections with 50 in the
Oh, in the
Oxendine,
50.
so we have to plan. Less students means more sections have to be offered that semester.
Gotcha.
So.
Let me know which room that you're in Oxnard. I would love to go look at it and just see what we could do, because we have some technology that we're not really using that much. It's cameras, and if it's the case, we can build a use case for. Hey, let's put a couple cameras in there.
Yeah, we have
Kinda.
2 big rooms in the Oxendine, the 2239
Okay.
and the 2246, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Opposite ends of each other in the same hallway.
Okay.
And that's where we teach our big sections.
Okay.
One is more amphitheater looking, the other is not as good.
Increasing the number of, increasing the level of access for distance ed students in the sciences would really mean a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would
The other thing
help.
is, I don't take attendance on higher level courses. I think they should be adults. If they want to go, that's their problem. But if they don't go, they could get the lecture online and still do well.
All right.
Versus right now, they don't attend, it's guaranteed they're not going to get a higher than a C. There's no way.
All right.
So is that good or bad?
Well, I think it teaches them life.
Yeah. No, but I
Oh,
mean.
putting online?
Yeah,
Well,
if it's online and a student
I think
decides to do that rather than go to class.
I think they will be okay if
Yeah.
they get it online. I think the secret is to actually for the majority of the students, you can just read the book and
Yeah.
self-teach. Not that level of science. Maybe you can do that with history, something that is information. But when it's hardcore science like that, you need to listen to somebody go to the detail. And you might not sit there in the classroom, but if you watch the video, you would be okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've done what you described, where I have a class that, I have a classroom section and I have an online section, and I've done the class in this room, and then made the online, had the online section availability for the lectures, and I made it available to the classroom section too, and I didn't see any decline in class attendance.
Right, I think they would do good.
I think it was fine, and like you say, if they miss a class, I mean, university activities, things like that, then they can go back and
Oh, they
catch
don't
it if
miss
they need to.
because of that.
Pardon?
They don't miss because of activities.
Well,
They
maybe
just
not in
don't want
science.
to show up.
We have athletes in the business school, so.
Yeah.
We do have people that miss for that reason.
Like Thursday before spring break, Out of 50, I had 15 you know.
I understand, science is
Yeah,
different.
I don't accept that. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just,
Well, that's what I'm saying, maybe you don't want to make it available online, because maybe they would not come
but the
to the
point,
class.
but I really don't care if they don't
Yeah.
show up, but I do
Yeah.
care that they learn.
Yeah, right.
You know, they're not going to do well if they don't learn. So if they
Right.
choose not to come and they will learn by sitting in their beds and watching the video, that's good.
Mhm.
I'm okay with that.
I think university-wide, we're probably going to have to develop some policies around all of this, because I can envision some classes moving toward WebEx, maybe toward the second or third, fourth week, whatever in the semester, and students should be made aware of that from the beginning. If
Yeah, I
when they
think,
go to sign up for a class, they need to know how it's going to be delivered. Yeah.
there I agree with you 100%. I mean, we have some things, I mean, all that should be in the registration system. So when they register for a class, if it's going to wind up being a hybrid, they should know that. In our case, we require proctored exams, they should know that. I mean,
I mentioned to Ms. Nancy just a few weeks ago, since like now we got WebEx, how we're going to label that in BraveWeb. Because if you look in BraveWeb, it says interactive video, online, hybrid, or whatever. What if that course is just WebEx? You know, should we have a category that just says WebEx? And that also presents data that we could use, you know, for later too. So that's right down the line what you were saying, you know, folks knowing.
Yeah, and I think if it's a little checkbox, you know, rather than somebody typing in a WebEx, because everybody's going to type it in different. So when you go to try to compile data on classes going years back, it was like for interactive video, one instructor or one department used to use simulcast. So having a little checkbox in there for when the classes are being put into the system would help as
Versus
well.
letting them type it in.
Yes, would clean up the data, quite a bit.
Do you think the students that are at the off-sites, their mentality is different than the students that's on-site so far as like, something like when we was just doing the rollout, students was like, that mean they ain't got to come to class no more because we got WebEx, can we do it online? You know,
Yeah.
it seems like that they want to be able to, and I know every discipline can't do that. You're going to have to sit in somebody's face and learn.
Yeah,
You know.
I mean, the mentality of the off-campus students is quite different. I think so. But you can do a great comparison over the last 5 years, and you can see the passing rate on campus is here, and and online maybe here, but off campus the passing rate and the number of A's and the percentage of students passing is quite a bit higher for students that take classes at off-campus locations. I mean, typically these are individuals that already have 2-year degrees. Chances are they're paying for their own education. They've got a job and want to advance, and they're serious in most cases. So, yeah, I think the level is different. If you taught off-campus before, what do you think?
no, I would agree
Is
with
that
you
what you see?
100%.
Yeah, that's what you
I
see.
mean, the Sandhill students, and that's where most of ours are really good students.
Yeah.
But that's why. I mean, you don't have very many traditional students in the mix, so they're not taking off the Thursday before Good Friday. You know, they're there.
They're there on Thursday
And,
night.
some students do prefer the classroom. We get some of that, when we put our program online and we thought maybe everybody's going to go online. Well, we have more students in the classroom now than we had before. So those students could take the same classes online if they wanted to. And they could actually save money by taking them online.
Yeah.
Because the way you structure, tuition and fees
Tuition.
online is the best, from a cost point of view, it's the lowest cost.
I wonder if you have students that start and intend to be online and then maybe change their mind and say, I'd rather have the face-to-face. You think that happens?
I don't have any evidence of that, but I don't know. I mean, because for years our students were a mixture. You couldn't complete the degree online, so they were taking both.
Right.
I don't know.
Be interesting to.
And it might be subject related, like you were mentioning, the sciences. I think some of our quantitative classes, accounting, things like that, I think maybe they do a little better in the classroom where they can have that immediate back and forth conversation with the professor.
Yeah, I think a lot of this technology is going to be.
Now, some of our
Different.
online faculty are using, well, they haven't been using WebEx. Maybe they have this semester, I'm not sure, but they've been having synchronous classes and within an online class. And I'm thinking of one in particular, Dr. Crandall, and he offers the students maybe 6 different time slots that they have to select one. And once a week, they have a discussion, so they do have the chance to have that back and forth discussion. And some are using that for office hours too.
Awesome.
I think he was
Appreciate y'all coming out.
He was using Collaborate. I don't know if he switched to
I don't
WebEx
know
or
either.
not, but I know you could do it with WebEx now and probably easier to use, I would think.
Yep.
Anybody have anything else?
Good for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, Terry.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And James, I will get a thumb drive and
Okay.
have a copy of this, and I'll get it uploaded.
Or do you want me to put it on YouTube and send you the link that we did last?
That would work perfectly.
I'll send you a link in a little bit.